growth and sales skills. I am so happy that you're here, and I've lost my notes. I'm just trying to find them. So I'm on. I have to have a double screen because I've so many tabs open that I lose track of everything if I don't have like lots of space to see everything that's going on. Hello and welcome to the group. I'm really grateful that you're here, and I really hope that you find this content and what's coming up over the days, weeks, months, years is going to be really helpful to you and your business. First of all, a brief introduction. My name is Rebecca Whitmore. I'm the host of Her Success Hub and this group where we're going to be talking all things business growth, lead generation and sales skills, which is absolutely one of my most favourite topics when it comes to business. But I do recognise that it's something that doesn't necessarily always come naturally to some people, especially if you've had this dream of having your own business but not necessarily knowing how to get it started or getting that traction behind it. Sales skills and lead generation may not be something that's ever come naturally to you for one reason or another. So I just wanted to kind of help community of female entrepreneurs and help your business to thrive. I have spent years working in sales industries and very cutthroat sales industries as well, such as travel, wedding and event management and business development. So I know a thing or two about business growth and strategy, but as I mentioned, I also recognise that it is something that some people can struggle with. So please use the group to post questions, ask for support, drop me any DMs if you want, or just bounce ideas off each other as well. I really just wanted to dive straight in and discuss something that's always been a bit of a tough area when it comes to sales, and that is all about selling on value versus selling on price. So that's what we're going to be discussing here today. I'm going to be doing a series of videos coming up, so if there is anything that you have, like a burning question or something that you would really like me to cover, then by all means drop a message and let me know. So today's is all about selling on value versus selling on price. So what do I mean by that? Well, as much as you are the unique selling point of your business, I would confidently say that there are other businesses that are the same, if not very similar to what you do, and that can go throughout for any industry. So what you really need to understand is your ideal client and what it is that your customer wants, and this really will vary depending on who your customer is and the industry that you work in. So it could be that they want more sales, it could be that they want more time, greater productivity, a better image, no hassle, just to get away and escape. You know, as I mentioned, my background's in the travel industry, so just like a break from the norm and to let their hair down for a little bit. So really starting to understand what it is that your customer wants is very important, and really honing in on that deeply so that you can start to really understand your ideal client, get to know them, and get that to all come across in the messaging and the way that you present yourself. We are going to be talking more about ideal clients tomorrow, so we'll sort of connect some of the dots there. But I always think it's really useful to work with real world examples to kind of like paint that picture and just help understanding. So I started in the travel industry at age 16, and I quickly, as mentioned, learned what a cutthroat market it can be. There are many companies that are constantly pricing with a constant race to the bottom, shaving off margins for a single booking. Once you've done the admin and covered any credit card fees, you can come to a point where you've hardly made any profit at all. And so I soon realised that the best way to be successful, certainly in a service-based industry, was to deliver on value. I can promise you, having worked through ash clouds, cancelling flights, the demise of Monarch, Thomas Cook, the devastation of COVID, that customers did not remember the £100 saving that they may have had on their booking, but they valued the person or the company that was available to them and willing to help them in their time of need. But it's not always just about crisis scenarios. It could be in everyday tasks, even as simple as promising the customer that they're not going to sit in an hour-long call queue to speak to a human, that you're there to personally guide them and help them. So even just in the day-to-day scenarios of your work can be helpful, and that is where real personal service can can shine through. So that's just one example, but it could be a chance for you to figure out where your value proposition lies and how you can communicate that in a way that is compelling to your customer. So this could come through social proof, testimonials, referrals. I will talk about referrals until the cows come home. You can get so much business through referrals because it's such a great way. Who doesn't love to hear a recommendation from a friend? And it's such a great way to grow your business. So it's also worth knowing that a sale can be emotionally driven and emotionally decided. So there is a 3-step process that I've devised that you can follow to get started with this. One point that I'd like to point out is to really stop thinking of, or don't think of your product or your service as a commodity. Whatever it is that you sell, never think of it as a commodity. So this could be where your business is seen as something that's widely available or is easily replaceable and is often competing on price alone. Instead, think about the relationship that you're building. Just to be clear, not everyone will buy on value. You will always have some customers that just want the cheapest price possible. That is the only thing that they're concerned about. However, a good 60 to 70% of customers will buy on value so long as they can clearly understand how they're going to benefit. And plus, something that I've probably fell foul of myself at some point is when you just race into the lowest price and you're just competing on I'll give you the cheapest price, but you're really cutting your margins. It just doesn't feel very good for you either as a business owner. So for me personally, it by behaving in that way or running my business in that way just left me feeling like I started to fall out of love with my company, and that started to show then in the way that I was presenting myself, which then has a knock-on effect. But when you know that you're delivering on value, you've got your heart in it and you're really building that relationship with your client, that you want the best result for them no matter what it is that they're purchasing from you. When you're invested in that relationship, you want the best for them, and that really shines through. Now, the second thing that I would advise is take a look at your last few sales. So between 5 to 10 can be a good idea, and really delve into how that sale was completed. What was the decision-making process? Did they have a discovery call with you? Even when you're selling online, have you got the right tracking system in place to know where that lead came from? Was it a particular social post that's working well, or one standout blog post that's consistently performing? What is it that made that sale work for you? How did the customer hear about you? Knowledge really is power when it comes to sales, because the more that you learn about that process that your customer goes through, the more that you can enhance it and keep replicating it to keep selling. So really drawing on that emotional connection that is working for you and is converting inquiries and leads into a successful sale. The third and final point that I'd like to make today is about not focusing on the sale itself, but focusing very much on the lifetime value that your customer is going to receive. So your customer does not want a sales pitch. What they do want is answers to their situations and their concerns. They want their life to have improved in one way or another, no matter how small. They are purchasing a result from you. So let's think of an example. Maybe you're a web designer and a customer comes to you and they need a new website right now. They need it up in a day. You've got the tools, you've got the knowledge, you are capable of doing that in our imagination as if you're a web designer. That is a customer of understanding the pressing need of what that particular customer wants. They want a quick website that's up, versus a different customer that might want to take their time a little bit, play around with design ideas, but they know they want a website that's fully SEO optimized. I can't think of the word. That maybe that you're sending out 3 blogs a week and you're constantly warming up the algorithms to bring in a steady flow of traffic into their website. So by really understanding your customer and the result that they personally want to achieve is a great way to think about helping them understand the result of not just what happens when they purchase, when they spend their cash, but the desired result that they get afterwards. A key thing to do is get them thinking about this when they're also thinking about the price. So they're not just focusing on a figure, a price figure, but also what they're getting in return for that money as well. So I know that may all sound like a lot, and I also know that not everyone here may love sales the way that I do, but the thing is, if you're running a business, you are in sales. It's not a bad thing. It just means that you are a spokesperson for your brand, and you should wear that loud and proud. You are the one guiding your potential customers towards the results that they're already looking for. I speak to people a lot and they say, I'm not a salesperson, I'm a web designer, I'm not a salesperson, I'm a personal trainer, whatever line of work that you're in, but you are also responsible for making sure that your potential customers see the value of purchasing from you, and you helping them then achieve that result by them making that sale with you. So to wrap this up, I would recommend that at its heart, building trust and understanding needs and showing your customers what's possible when they work with you is really, really important. Know your value, communicate it clearly, and build relationships, not just transactions. One way that you can do this is to start by giving value up front before you even ask for the sale. So do you have helpful content on your socials? Do you have a free guide on your website? These are sometimes called lead magnets or freebies, but I actually think of them more of a way to build relationships, because they're proof of what you're capable of and how you can help your customer. Done right, they will have people coming to you, not you chasing after them. Thank you so much for watching. This has been my first live of this kind in a long, long time, because I usually work one-on-one with clients, so it's a little bit more of a back and forth conversation. If anything's unclear or you have a question, drop me a comment or send me a DM. I will reply personally. And please join me tomorrow. We're going to be talking all about ideal client avatars and communicating in a way that speaks to your ideal client, how to craft that language that really speaks directly to who it is that you want to work with. I'm also working on a mini directory to add into the files of who our members are in this group, all for the purpose of networking and showcasing your business. So I will leave the link for that in the comments. Please fill that in if you would like to be featured in the directory. If you find this valuable in any way whatsoever, please do share this group out, maybe to your own feed, or feel free to invite people into the group if you think that this would be of value to them. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye for now.